Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how my consultations work. All right. So first of all, you got to know I'm a spiritual life coach first. So the thing is, the main thing as far as what I feel like I can bring the greatest value to your life is when it comes to spiritual life coaching. That's not going to change. Okay. You look at this channel and most of the content I make is quite obvious. I'm a spiritual life coach. I could certainly help you change your life when it comes to shifting your mindset and being aware of what you need to be aware of in order to expand your consciousness in order to get to whatever you want to get to in life. Okay, so that's one thing that I have to offer. Okay, another thing happens to be when people want to talk about the law stuff, when people want to talk about anything that has to do with being on the private side, being sovereign and things of that nature. I do have a significant amount of information on that as well. It's not just me, it's my team. So anytime that you book a consultation when it comes to being able to contact my team, it's not just the access to the information that I have. It's the information that we have as a collective, which is a lot of information for sure. And the truth is, if we're not serious or if we're not interested, if we don't expect that we can actually bring value and help you, we're not going to take the consultation, or should I say I'm not going to take the consultation. So the thing is, like, I haven't actually been accepting all of the ones that people have been trying to get with me, because sometimes I just be feeling like you kind of talking to the wrong person with certain stuff, and I'm not just going to take your money just because, bro. Like, my integrity is something I take very, very seriously. So sometimes I just have to turn down the check because I just feel like that's what is honorable. Like, of course, all of this is about staying in honor, actually. So it's really not a surprise that somebody like me would say something like that. But a majority of them I definitely do take. I can help. I'm willing to help. We're willing to help. And I just wanted to say that because I've been interacting with people about this, and there have been some people who quite easily can benefit from what I have to say. And some people, they don't really even know what they're trying to figure out. So it's a little harder for me to really give them a sense of direction. So when you get in contact with somebody like me, you got to be already aware of what you're trying to accomplish. And ideally, you want to already be on your way. But if you do just need a sense of guidance, I definitely can do that too. But I think if you want me to bring the greatest amount of value to your life, it has to be you already having a sense of direction and just needing to know a little bit more about what to do, or getting more clarity on a few things or things of that nature. I'm not the person who's going to hold your hand through every single step. I do have some step-by-step instructions and stuff that I could give, but I'm not trying to be that babysitter type of teacher or anything like that. Like, nah, man, that's not really something that I feel like people need or could easily benefit from, because if I'm just trying to do everything in a general sense, I'm really not catering to the needs of the individual. And I think that's the most important thing for people to recognize, is that some people are trying to accomplish things that other people just simply are not. So when it comes to this stuff, like when it comes to the law stuff, some people are trying to get out of paying child support, for example. Some people are just trying to be on the private side so that they can travel freely. Some people are trying to join a tribe. Some people are trying to get their bills paid through the treasury. Like, it's a lot of different things and a lot of different ways that you can do all this stuff. Some people just want a car. Some people just want a house. Some people are thinking really materialistically and just trying to be a little too superficial, in my opinion. But the people that I notice are the ones who are taking it seriously enough to actually book a consultation and stuff. Typically, I notice that the mindset with these people is actually much more mature than the average person. These aren't the people in the comments section doing a lot of talking or anything. Because the truth is, anything that I tell you, you can research it. You can verify it yourself. So, I mean, and you should. So you don't even have to try to, like, just get information from one source. Like, bro, you already on the internet. You might as well just stay on the internet a little longer and verify the stuff that people are saying. Because truth is, some things simply apply to some people and other things don't. So even if you were to say book a consultation, like one time I booked a consultation with a guy, I know for a fact he knew a lot about this type of stuff, but booked the consultation, and then it was just like, bruh, the stuff that he's saying to me doesn't even really help me right now at the phase that I'm at. So it wasn't necessarily that he was a scammer or that he was like a ripoff or anything, but I didn't know what questions to ask him, first of all. So that part I had to realize that, oh yeah, he can only help me as far as what I can tell him I need help with. Now I'm starting to understand it from the other perspective of actually being the person doing the consultations. Like, bro, you got to actually know what you want to learn from me, because especially when you're talking to somebody who has like a lot of information. I know a lot. I don't know what you need to know more than other things. Like, bro, if I don't know you and all we did is have a couple of emails for me to go off of, that's all I got to go off of when it comes to what I know to teach you. And this is years and years worth of information that you're going to have to collect in order to know like what position you want to play in this game. So I think it's super important to, one, identify what you want and why you want to achieve that, but also you got to be okay with talking to multiple different sources or consulting with multiple different people. Like, it's going to take all of that. Like, it ain't like I was just reading books and only got my information from books. Like, no, I done talked to people who do certain things. I done read books, bought books, downloaded the free ones, got in contact with the IRS, asked them some questions, etc., etc. Like, you could talk to these business entities. Do you know they have phone numbers and emails just like everybody else? Like, bro, they are public servants. You could go to the courthouse, ask them the questions you want to get the answers to. Yeah, sometimes it might be hard to find the right person. But, bro, if you actually go to the bank, talk to those people, you go to the courthouse, talk to those people, bro, if you put in enough energy, especially if you're sending letters and stuff, you're going to actually get somewhere. And it's going to take for you to be willing to go on the journey. It's not something where you just, oh yeah, I can buy all the answers and then just that be it. Like, no, you got to study this stuff. You can't just like expect it to just fall in your lap. No, it's too rewarding. This is real life, quote unquote. And in real life, you have to earn things. You have to put in the work. You have to be willing to go down the path. You can't expect to get big fruits if you're not willing to let the tree grow. You got to wait. You got to put in the freaking effort. You got to feed the plant, you know, like, so, I mean, I don't even be surprised when certain people don't get very far in this type of stuff because they're just not dedicated enough. They're not disciplined enough. But the people who do, we always say, bro, I spent years studying this stuff. I spent years trying to figure this shit out. Like, always, because that's what it takes. And of course, after you spent several years getting to the bottom of this, reading the laws, actually doing the doing, bro, you're going to get the results you want. But don't be in a rush. Like, do not be in a rush, for real. There's no rush. You've been paying bills all this time, so why all of a sudden you don't want to pay them no more? Like, bro, you've clearly been willing to even before you found out about this stuff. So, I mean, yeah, I know it's a pain and stuff, but take your time, because it be people getting themselves in a lot of trouble because they're just doing stuff, like not even really considering if it's the right thing for them to do, because there's not just a right thing. There's the right thing for you. And this is the thing that a lot of people don't seem to acknowledge. This is a spiritual journey, bro. Like, on top of everything that is everything as an individual thing, bro, over it all, it's a spiritual experience. And that's why that's a majority of what I talk about on my channel. Because if you can comprehend the spiritual side of things and your spiritual side of yourself, you're going to be able to easily access the answers to all your other questions. Hopefully you get where I'm coming from. So yeah, the easiest thing for you to do is email me at youthfuladvisor@outlook.com. Tell me specifically what you have questions about or what you need help with. Be as specific as possible with everything, because then and only then can I determine if I can actually help you or not. Because if I can't, then I'm just going to tell you I can't help you, and then you can go on with your life, you know. But usually there's some kind of value I can bring. And when it comes to the pricing, it's the consultations are based off of donations. So it's really whatever you feel like you can afford, as long as I don't feel like it's such a small amount that it's not worth leaving my family and you know, separating myself from my family. You know, like, I'm gonna take it because I want to actually help. But you know, it's got to be enough of value that I'm bringing and enough of value that you're bringing to my life as far as how much you pay. But it ain't just about the money. So don't be afraid to make me an offer, because I mean, worst case scenario, I say no. Best case scenario, you actually get the consultation and we get to talk and be cool. You know, we can talk about anything when you get on the phone. You can get some spiritual life coaching from me. We can talk about this, that, whatever you want to talk about, man. So that's the thing. Like, we don't just have to talk about one thing or something specific if you don't want to. Sometimes people just need somebody to talk to. I'm still that person because this is my path. This is the role that I'm playing. It's more of a spiritual guide than anything else. So I just want to make that very clear. The biggest value I could bring is to your spiritual side of your life. But let's be honest here. There's a lot of stuff I could tell you about what I know simply because me growing up, I was always addicted to learning. So I learned a lot of stuff. So I do have a lot of information. So yeah, definitely don't be afraid to shoot me a DM on Instagram, send me an email, get on the phone with me, you know, chop it up. We got to lean on each other here, man.